Does it make sense to move right now? Hey guys, Jake Breen here with Team Utah Cribs at Berkshire Hathaway Utah Properties. Everyone knows at this point how extremely hot the market's been. The definition of hot is rapid appreciation, low inventory, and so people are very excited if they own real estate that their value has gone up, and that's true. But when people dive into this decision, they're also often wondering, does it make financial sense to upgrade? Let's separate emotion from financial. I'm here to give you the three real factual reasons that it makes sense to move, okay? And this advice does not apply to first-time home buyers. For first-time home buyers, if the market's going up, it can get more complicated than this, but it's kind of this simple. You just got to get in, okay? But for everybody else that's in a place that maybe wants to move, that maybe wants to upgrade or downsize, or wants a pool, or now wants a home office and a theater because of COVID times, let's explore the facts and the real reasons why you would want to sell and buy right now. Because let's face it, if you sell your current home for top dollar, you're also buying for top dollar. That's how the market is. And if you're selling your home when the market's suppressed, if you sold in a recession, well, then you're buying while it's suppressed. So it's kind of just a lateral change. So statistically, why does it make sense to move? Uh-oh, this is mirrored, so it's backwards, but I will read it to you. Reason number one, you're going to downgrade. Let me make the math simple. If you're going to sell a home, your family home that you grew up in, it's large, it's a great location. Let's say you're going to sell that home for $1 million, and right now you could get absolute top dollar out of it. If you're selling that home and actually downgrading, it really makes sense to move in a rapid appreciating market. Why? There's a lot of little reasons, but one of them being that the cheaper the real estate, regardless of location, the cheaper the real estate, when things soften, it tends to go down or to flatline quicker than luxury. In other words, in the recession, 2008 to 2012, luxury homes over $1 million lost about 50% of their value, whereas median priced homes in the 300s to 400s lost 34%. Okay, so it does make statistical financial sense to downgrade in an extremely hot market where you can sell your larger home for the most money you've ever been able to. Reason number two, rate. Now, if you're in your existing home and you have a mortgage and your interest rate is low already, that doesn't make too much sense to move to get the same rate, okay? But think about this. If you've ever wanted to upgrade, and let's say you owe $500 on your current mortgage, and you're going to buy something that's a couple $100,000 more expensive, and even if the rate is the same, so in the new home you're going to mortgage a little bit more, now's the time to lock in that rate for the long term if you want to move anytime in the next 5 to 10 years. Why? Rates are at historic lows. I know you've been hearing that for about a decade now, but they can't effectively get lower than they really are right now. I mean, high 2s to low 3%. That's with the Fed funds rate at 0 to 0.25. We can't go into necessarily negative rate. And so it's never going to be better. So if you're saying, hey, sometime in the next decade, we'd like to step it up to that family home or our dream home or something like that, it does make statistical sense to do that now while rates are low. In other words, fast forward, let's say 3 years you wait and you refinance your existing home and your rate is currently at 2.75%, like mine on my personal house. Well, even if I could afford to upgrade in 3 or 4 years, if rates are 4%, I'm not going to want to move even if I can afford it because I don't want the higher rate and more debt. Rate is the second reason to move now and upgrade. The third is want. Hey, simply put, if you want to, if you have the money and you desire, well, then you can make that decision. Financially, it does make sense. Yes, you may be selling your existing home for top dollar. That's great for you. You might be buying at top dollar as long as the rate exchange is the same or better on your mortgage on the new place and you want to upgrade. It makes sense now. I hear a lot of people say, well, Jake, I'm just going to wait till it crashes. We're not going to explain that in this video, but that's highly unlikely. But if it crashes, you still need somewhere to live. So your existing home's going to crash, or you're going to sell it for a suppressed value or price and then buy at a suppressed price. So you're just exchanging like kind for like kind. So I really get those questions all the time. Should I move? Is it the right time? Are we on a bubble? Well, if you got a place to sell, then you really don't need to decipher all those little things. It's one of these three reasons will statistically push you into a move. And that's where it really makes sense for people. And you're on the better end of making the right financial decision, especially on the first one, if you've thought about selling for a long, long time and you're in a larger home and you're downgrading. An up market really makes sense to do that exchange so you can get maximum value out of your larger, perhaps more expensive home while it's up, and then buy at a lower price point. Hope that makes sense. Send us any questions as always. And here at Utah Cribs, we educate you so you can make an educated decision when it comes to your real estate.